Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be going through r/am I the asshole, more specifically the posts that have already been declared the asshole. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to wake me up at night when our newborn wakes up? My wife, 35 female, and I, 35 male, just had our third child 1 month ago, 4 weeks. For the first week or two my wife had to wake him up every couple of hours to feed him, but now we just let him sleep until he wakes up to eat. Here's where that becomes a problem. I'm a really heavy sleeper. There's nothing that can wake me up short of being attacked by a bear or shaken or something. It's been that way since way before my wife and I had kids. Babies crying or screaming do not wake me up. They didn't even when we had our first 8 male, so usually I've woken up when my wife turns on the lights for changing and stuff like that. Apparently I sleep through a lot when my wife is getting up a lot, so she's saying she does an unfair amount of work at night because of it. I feel bad because I recognize that if I'm asleep, I'm not contributing to the night stuff. So I asked my wife to wake me up when the baby wakes up, and she told me that made it so much worse and that it's like weaponized incompetence. She just doesn't want to wake me up for some reason. I'm not weaponizing my heavy sleep against her, I just want her to wake me up so I can help. But like I said, she said it makes it worse, and now she's mad. Am I the asshole for asking her to wake me up so I can help with the night stuff for our newborn? OP has offered the following explanation as for why they think they might be the asshole. 1. I'm asking of my wife to wake me up when our baby wakes up at night is an asshole thing to do. 2. I don't know if it makes me the asshole, but my wife thinks it's weaponized incompetence and makes my not being able to wake up worse. So would I be an asshole if it was actually harmful to her in some way? I agree with Reddit's decision on this post. I mean, he's not a major asshole, but he is being a little bit of a jerk. Anyway, let's see what the top comment says. Look up vibrating baby monitors for deaf parents. Wear the bracelet. Am I the asshole because I, 38 female, don't want to take my stepson, 9, on vacation? My husband, 39, and I have been married for 5 years. We have 2 children of our own, both girls, aged 5 and 2. I also have a son, 10, from a previous marriage, but I was widowed. My husband's ex is barely involved in stepson's life at all. They got divorced when stepson was 2, and his ex-wife wanted a fresh start, so my husband did the decent, selfless thing and had complete custody of their son, even though he'd wanted shared custody. I got a bonus at work and I really want to go on vacation with just my family, just once. We've been on family vacations all together lots of times, but just once I want to spend my money going on a vacation where I'm not looking after someone else's kid. I want stepson to stay with his mom while we go on vacation. My husband sees my point of view and is okay with it. I don't think I'm being at all unreasonable. My mom found out what I was planning and says I'm a complete asshole. These are the reasons she says I could be the a-hole. My mom says that if stepson's mom isn't properly involved in his life, I should be even more involved in his life to compensate. I think this is a completely unfair expectation. She also says that I'm being a hypocrite taking my own son, but I think that's totally different because my son doesn't have another parent. I'm all he's got. If stepson's mom won't take him just for once, then obviously he'll come on vacation with us, but I don't think I'm the asshole to ask if I can have a vacation with my own family just one time. It's not like I hate stepson or something, he's a nice kid, he's just not mine. Am I the asshole? There is an update to this post, but we'll get to that in just a second. This behavior that she has towards her stepson is just disgusting. And her mom is completely right, she is being a hypocrite. And I just can't believe that the husband is accepting of this behavior. Yet again, Reddit's judgment is correct. Now let's read the update. Update: we definitely won't be going on vacation without stepson. After a couple hours of replies, I decided to show this to my husband. We sat down and had a really long talk about it. He told me he's never been comfortable with my attitude to stepson, but didn't know how to say it to me before. I don't want to be a bad person, I just never thought of stepchildren as being yours. I don't think it would be easy for anyone to accept this level of criticism, but all your replies have shown me that I have a lot of work to do. As many of you suggested, and so did my husband, I intend to see a therapist to help me with that. As I said, I don't hate stepson in any way. I've never been deliberately cruel to him. I've just always thought of him as my husband's child, but I realize my mindset needs to change. I'm going to start working on that. I want my family to be the best it can be, and I need to accept that it includes my stepson. I understand that now, and I'm going to start seeing a therapist to become a better person. We've also talked about maybe having family therapy too. I've also made up with my mom, and she's 100% behind the changes I want to make in my life. It wasn't easy to hear everything you said, but I understand that I needed to hear it. Now let's see the top comment. The commenter started with a quote from OP. Just my family. Just once. Your husband's son is your family, and you better not ever let that kid hear you say otherwise. Jesus Christ. They then quoted another section from OP. I'm not looking after someone else's kid. Homie, that ship fucking sailed when you married a man with a child. Again quoting OP. I don't think I'm the asshole to ask if I can have a vacation with my own family just one time. Wanting a vacation with your family is fine. Deciding that your stepson doesn't count as family is fucked up beyond belief, and it definitely makes you the asshole. You're the asshole. I think that comment summed it up perfectly. Let's move on to the next post. Am I the asshole for not inviting my friend to my party because she would ruin the aesthetic? As you can see, this is a giant wall of text, so I apologize in advance for any reading mistakes. All to count because I don't want my friends to see this. I, 29 female, started a small online book club for book lovers in my city about a year ago. I know it sounds a little nerdy, but it's not like that. We're all just some girls who like to read and share our thoughts, especially on historical fiction. Well, I've been seeing a lot of those book balls on TikTok recently where people throw huge parties where everyone dresses up extravagantly in ball gowns and those intricate masks and parasols and whatnot, and thought it looked super fun. Only there wasn't any being held anywhere near me, so I decided to hold an intimate one with the girls from my book club. There are about a dozen of us, and we've met up multiple times, so we're all good friends. One of these girls is a close friend of mine. I'll call her Sam, 29F, and she doesn't like to dress up at all. She's always in sweats or athletic clothes, never does her makeup or hair, just really doesn't care about her appearance, even for formal events. I remember she skipped our prom and wore jeans to our ceremony, which is fine, she's a beautiful girl, but I didn't want that at my ball, so I didn't invite her. I sent out beautiful invites that I spent a good chunk of money for, rented out a small hall that fit my budget, catered, and only asked my friends to pitch in about $20 each to cover some costs. Everyone bought beautiful, extravagant gowns and accessories, and I got even more excited. Well, eventually word somehow got to Sam, and she asked me about the event. She asked if I was really hosting an event for the book club and not inviting her, and after hesitating, I said yes, but only because I know she would never wear a ball gown or put effort into looking good. She said she was upset that I wouldn't want her there even if she wore regular clothes, and I told her that's not fair, that I put in all the effort for this beautiful event where everyone can be a little extra for one day, and I don't want her to ruin the aesthetic. She hasn't spoken to me since then, and the ball was 2 days ago. A success, by the way. Everyone looked amazing. Am I the asshole for not inviting her because she would ruin the event? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I didn't invite my close friend to a formal party I was hosting because I knew she wouldn't dress up because she never does. She's my friend, and she seemed very upset about the whole thing. I don't really think that OP is the a-hole, but I don't think that the friend is the a-hole either. I think that a little bit of communication could have gone a long way, and that OP just made a mistake. Let's see what the top comment says. You're the asshole. I would have sent her an invite and said that the attire was mandatory. That way she could have chosen whether or not she wanted to attend. And if she didn't, no loss to you. If you two are as good of friends as you say, then you should have at least told her about it so she didn't have to hear it from anyone else and feel left out. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's cousins if they went out with my husband, they would have to take our son with them? Our son is 2, and right now he's going through the phase where his dad is his absolute favorite person, and he's practically glued to him. It's come at a good time since we're visiting my husband's family, so he's available to spend more time with our son than he normally would be. My husband's cousins wanted to go out on the boat with my husband. They were discussing it in front of me, and I let them know that they would have to take my son with them if my husband went. They told me it wasn't a good idea for them to take him and made up some lies about how it could be dangerous for him to go with them. I suggested they do something else then because my son wouldn't stay in if his dad was going out. They kept trying to convince me to keep my son at home and even asked why he couldn't stay with me at one point. Eventually my father-in-law told them that they could only use the boat if they took my son too, which is the only reason they finally backed down and agreed. They weren't happy about it though. My husband wasn't there during the conversation as he was bathing our son, but he didn't seem concerned about taking our son on the boat, which is why I know they were just making stuff up so he couldn't go. Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I made my husband and his cousins take our son with them when they went out, even though his cousins didn't want to take him with them. Yup, this post was definitely flared correctly. Just because your son wants to be glued to his dad's side 100% of the time doesn't mean that he isn't allowed to have his own time. How would you feel if the roles were reversed? That your son wanted to be with you all the time and then your husband just had you look after him all the time because, oh, he wants to be with you. Let's see what the top comment says. You're the asshole. Please understand, not everyone likes your child. Not everyone likes any child. Children are not fun to relax and be an adult around. You have to always be focused on them, and it's more like being at work than it is being on vacation. No one has to spend time or enjoy spending time with your kid. You need to learn to be okay with this fact of life. Have some grace and allow people space away from your child so that they don't resent him. Am I the asshole for asking a girl I'm seeing about her period? A girl I'm seeing slept over the other night, and when she was here, stuff got a little sexual. She ended up saying she was on her period. No big deal. I gave her a back rub and we watched movies the rest of the night. The next morning she was getting ready to go home, and I went to the bathroom and my garbage was empty. I didn't see her get up a single time to change her pad or tampon, so I questioned her about it and told her if I made her uncomfortable when I was making sexual advances, she could have just said so and didn't need to lie about being on her period. She immediately got defensive and said she has no reason to lie. I told her I saw nothing that indicated she changed her tampon or pad that night, and that if she left a tampon or pad in all night in fear of leaving it in my garbage, that I didn't care about that, and that I have sisters and understand the dangers of using the same tampon or pad all night. She said she was aware and didn't need me to mansplain periods to her, and she called me weird and left. She blocked me on everything, and this feels very overdramatic. I was looking out for her. Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I may be the asshole because she said I was mansplaining and I assumed she didn't know about her own body instead of just not saying anything at all. Bro thinks he's the period patrol, the period police, the goddamn period professional. Just be honest, you weren't worried about her, you were worried as to why she didn't want to sleep with you. I'm not gonna sit here acting like I know shit about periods. That is me staying in my lane, which is something you need to learn to do. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and go ahead and comment your opinions on some of these stories down below. I hope to see you all in a later video. Bye.